Hi, it's Shar, and in my continued effort to bring awareness around narcissistic abuse, sociopaths, psychopaths, cluster B, split personality, I'm going to do another video for you. So anybody needs some gaslighting? Yes, gaslighting. If you don't know what it is, you're so lucky. But if you've ever been in a relationship with somebody who is a cluster B personality, you're very familiar with some of these tactics that they use. And gaslighting, it is a form of manipulation, and they seek to just kind of take you off your footing, to kind of put some doubt in your mind, hoping to make you question your memory, maybe your sanity. There was a movie out back in 1944 called Gaslight. If you're wondering what it is, go watch it. It's on YouTube for free. But it is just about a situation that gets created by a narcissist who's trying to get his wife to think that he's crazy. Or she's crazy. He is crazy. You know, one of the things that stood out for me that is consistent, and I share this because you can use these as, you know, markers to help you know if you want to move into a relationship with somebody early on. I mean, now that I know kind of the road signs to look for, it still doesn't make it any easier because it's opposites attract. So I still attract these people, but the gaslighting starts pretty easy. It's like all of my narcissists in my life have done this, where they'll say a joke, or they'll say that it's a joke, but they're the only ones laughing. It's kind of a joke at your expense. And they'll sit over there and they'll just play it under the tone of, that's just a joke. And it's like, no, you know, really, if it was a joke, we would both be laughing, because that's what a joke is, right? But if only you're laughing, then that's kind of being a bully. Because when you see what a bully is on a playground, a bully hurts other people, stands back and laughs at their expense. And that's exactly what that behavior is. It's exactly, I mean, I would point it out time and time again on when my ex would make a joke, or it was mean. And you know, we get into relationships with these people, so we reveal some vulnerable stuff, and in front of a group of people, they may not understand. They might think that it's funny because these are very, very outgoing. They've got great personalities. Everybody likes them. But the way that he twists a joke, because he knows some deep stuff about me, I know what he meant it and how he meant it. And he also knew that that would get a little bit of a rise out of me. And you'll see women or men, actually, when you're in relationships with this narcissist, that they do what's called this crazy making behavior. I'm going to Google this real quick. Crazy making behavior. And crazy making behavior. Because the narcissist will sit back and use that reaction to justify why they're a victim, because they're always victims. Always, 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 always a victim. They're never not a victim. And so what you don't understand when you're in the midst of a situation like this, for instance, my ex-husband, not my children's father, my ex-husband, I met him online. We were chatting back and forth at the beginning of May, and it kind of moved pretty quickly where he had me meeting his children within 2 to 3 weeks. And I remember being just kind of caught off guard that I was meeting his children this quickly. But in the very first time that I was at his house, his ex comes to the door to pick up their children. And she looked freaking crazy, because this lady was screaming and cussing. And I remember thinking, she doesn't know me to start with. And there are children in the room. You don't talk like that in front of kids. And I'm just trying to help get her kids out of the door. Well, what I didn't know, that I know now, that I didn't know then, is that they had actually been together for 7 years. And he had talked about how he actually had been single for a year, and how they really, she trapped him, she got pregnant, they never did get married, and that he's been trying to get her out of his house for a year, and that he actually just got her out. And at the time, he didn't tell me at the beginning that it was May 1st is when she actually moved. All right, I was thinking this was a year. They'd been apart for a year, and I couldn't understand why she was at the front door freaking out. but now I can, because I was in his house in front of her and these children within 2 to 3 weeks of her moving out of a 7-year relationship. And so of course she is at the front door acting like a crazy woman, because and then she also thought that I had like a covert relationship with him for a long time. And I mean, I actually hadn't. I had truly just started chatting with him online. He was on a dating site, and he had been for a while, and he had shared stories with me. So that crazy making behavior when you're in the presence of somebody who is doing that behavior, just know that there is probably more underneath, because I at the time didn't catch the connection, and I didn't know what this crazy making was. And a lot of it had to do with, she had probably been in relationship with him for months and had suspected that he was messing around on her, because typically what they accuse you of doing is what they're doing themselves. And things weren't adding up. And so here's this woman who just constantly is getting gaslighted, and her footing cannot be established. And she moves out, and she's starting to get her sanity back, and lo and behold, she pulls up, and here's this new woman and her ex-boyfriend, but they had a child together. It was pretty serious. And very quickly, because that's what they do. And so that gaslighting starts pretty lightly at first, and it is when they say, they tell a joke, but it's at your expense. It kind of puts you down. It might, they might comment on how you're doing something wrong, or undermine your self-confidence. And, you know, I would maybe go and get your hair colored. Maybe there's a special event. You've got a special outfit going on, and they're purposely withholding compliments or things that would build you up. And that's not normal. That's not healthy. That's not acceptable, because loving people love people. And you just can't love, especially those special relationships. So one of my famous things, or not famous, but one of the things that I would always say is, if you're the only one laughing, it's not a joke. When it's a joke, we both laugh. If you're the only one laughing, that's a bully. And interestingly enough, when we pull up the definition of the word bully, it is a person who uses strength or power to harm or intimidate those that are weaker. And this is where I think it gets really, really, really interesting, is if you look up the origin of the word bully, it's actually Dutch, and it means lover. And isn't that kind of appropriate, especially in a narcissistic relationship, that your lover, back in the mid-Dutch 1600s is when this word started. Back then it was a term of endearment, and it applied to either sexes, and later it became a form to address a male friend, and we've seen how it changed over the time. But today, a bully is not a good term. And you know what, if you look around and you're the only one laughing in a room full of people, or even if it's just one other person, and you think you're telling a joke and you're the only one laughing and the other one's not, it's not that funny. You might be gaslighting and trying to hurt somebody. So you guys, if you need gas, go to the gas station. You don't need to get the gas from the person you lay your head next to every night, or it's really hard to get out of a relationship and get over all that gaslighting that goes on. But hopefully through sharing this, and also giving you a little bit of a script to overcome and bring it to their attention, because they get so comfortable in doing it, because they like those little bursts of energy they get from you when they see that they hurt you. So just know you're not crazy, and you're not insecure. You don't need to thicken up your skin. Nothing's wrong with you at all. This is just some of the stuff that they do to get their energy from you. So don't give it to them, all right? You guys remember, we're all connected. We're all powerful. You guys go love somebody today. Start with yourself. Talk to you later. Bye.